Welcome to Brainyahia. In this presentation, we will follow the extraordinary journey of the lost world, chapter by chapter. We begin with a young reporter who longs for a life of courage and meaning. We will meet Professor Challenger, discover the secret of a hidden plateau, and travel with an unlikely expedition into an unknown world. Along the way, the explorers will face danger, captivity, uncertainty, and difficult choices. Yet their greatest discoveries will not be limited to prehistoric creatures or unfamiliar landscapes. They will also learn about courage, loyalty, teamwork, responsibility, and the power of perseverance. Let us begin with Chapter 1, A Dream of Adventure. Edward Malone is a young reporter in London with large ambitions and a strong desire to do something meaningful. When he asks Gladys Hungerton to marry him, she explains that she admires men who have shown courage and faced real danger. Her words challenge Malone. He begins to understand that he cannot simply talk about bravery, he must choose a life that tests him. Malone therefore asks his editor, Mr. McCardle, for a dangerous assignment. He is given an opportunity to interview the famous Professor Challenger, a scientist whose claims about unknown animals in South America have made him controversial. Because Challenger dislikes journalists, Malone cleverly pretends to be a student in order to obtain an appointment. This decision marks the beginning of an extraordinary journey. The first lesson is clear. Great opportunities often begin when we are willing to step beyond our comfort zone. Malone visits Professor Challenger while pretending to be a student with a question about a scientific paper. Challenger is rude and suspicious at first, but Malone's careful questions eventually persuade him to continue the conversation. The professor reveals that he has travelled to a remote region of South America and discovered a hidden plateau where prehistoric creatures still survive. He has photographs and other evidence, but he refuses to reveal the exact location. Challenger believes that the discovery must be protected from people who would exploit it for money or fame. Malone is shocked by the story, yet he is also fascinated. The meeting shows that knowledge brings responsibility. A discovery is not valuable merely because it is exciting. It must also be handled with judgment, humility, and respect.
Professor Challenger decides that he must return to the hidden plateau and prove his discovery to the world. He wants companions who are strong, intelligent, and brave, not people who are interested only in money or fame. He selects 4 men, each with a different strength. Professor Summerlee brings experience and scientific knowledge. Lord John Roxton is an explorer and skilled hunter. Edward Malone is a young reporter searching for adventure and purpose. Zambo is strong, loyal, and familiar with Challenger's earlier travels. The expedition succeeds because its members are not identical. Their different abilities complement one another. This chapter reminds us that a difficult mission requires preparation, trust, and the courage to work with people whose talents are different from our own. The expedition leaves London and begins a long journey towards South America. The men travel by ship across the ocean, and the voyage gives them time to understand one another. Challenger remains confident and determined, while the others are excited but aware of the risks. After reaching the coast, they travel deep into unexplored country. The jungle presents constant difficulties: harsh weather, thick vegetation, insects, wild animals, and treacherous ground. Progress is slow, but the team continues because every member accepts responsibility for the journey. Their courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision to keep moving while danger and uncertainty remain. The deeper they travel, the more important teamwork becomes. Difficult journeys build strong people, especially when patience and cooperation are treated as essential skills rather than optional qualities. At last, the explorers reach the hidden plateau. Malone is amazed by the sight before him. Dinosaurs and other prehistoric creatures live there as though time has stopped. The land is beautiful, but it is also dangerous. Their sense of wonder quickly changes when intelligent ape-like creatures, known as ape men, attack and capture them. The creatures speak a strange language and take the explorers to their camp as prisoners. The men now understand that they are far from help. They must survive in an unfamiliar society while searching for a way to escape. This chapter places wonder and fear side by side. It teaches that the unknown can be magnificent and threatening at the same time. When facing a situation we cannot control, calm thinking, unity and hope become forms of strength.
That night, Edward Malone cannot sleep. His curiosity leads him away from the camp so that he can observe the land and its people for himself. Moving carefully through the jungle in the moonlight, he discovers a beautiful valley, waterfalls, unusual plants, and prehistoric animals living freely. Later, he finds the ape men's city and observes their homes, customs, and organized way of life without being seen. Malone realizes that the ape men are not simply creatures to be feared. They have a society, rules, and intelligence. At the same time, he understands that curiosity must be balanced by caution. His adventure gives the expedition a better understanding of the world in which it is trapped. The lesson is to observe carefully, learn from what is different, and respect the dangers of the environment. While the team is away exploring, the ape men secretly enter the camp and capture Challenger, Summerlee, Roxton, and Zambo. When Malone returns, he finds the camp empty and follows the signs to discover where his friends have been taken. He witnesses the ape men's society and sees that it is intelligent and organized with its own laws and traditions. Yet the prisoners remain in serious danger, especially under the authority of a cruel and powerful leader. Malone must therefore think strategically. Strength alone will not save his friends, and courage without a plan could make their situation worse. He begins to consider how observation, patience, and loyalty can work together. This chapter reminds us that true friendship is active. When people we care about are in danger, responsibility requires both bravery and careful judgment. The team knows that it must escape from the lost plateau before it is too late. After serious discussion, the explorers create a plan that is risky but necessary. They decide to return to the coast where their ship is waiting and send a signal for help. The journey back will be difficult because they must cross the jungle again and face the dangers they have already encountered. Every member has an important role. They prepare supplies, weapons, and tools, and they agree to stay together and protect one another. Their plan succeeds as an idea because it is built on trust. No individual claims to be more important than the group. The chapter's central lesson is that a clear plan, shared responsibility, and unity can turn an apparently impossible challenge into a possible one. Hope becomes stronger when it is supported by preparation. The team begins the long and dangerous journey back to the coast. Storms, wild animals, difficult terrain, and injuries test the explorers. Some of the men become tired and vulnerable, but they continue to support one another. Their progress is measured not by speed, but by endurance. Each obstacle reminds them that survival is a shared responsibility. Eventually, they reach the coast and find their ship waiting for them. Relief replaces fear, yet the journey has changed them. They leave the lost world with new knowledge and a deeper respect for the unknown. Their experience has shown them that perseverance is not a single dramatic act. It is a series of decisions to continue, to help others, and to remain focused when progress is difficult. Every challenge they overcome adds to their strength and wisdom. After many hardships, dangers, and unforgettable experiences,
The explorers finally reach the coast and prepare to leave. They celebrate their survival and the knowledge they have gained about the lost world and its creatures. As they look back at the land that was once unknown and frightening, they recognize that it has become part of their lives forever. The lost world remains hidden from the rest of the world, but its lessons travel home with the explorers. They return transformed, wiser, stronger, and more respectful of the world beyond their experience. The adventure has ended, but its meaning continues. Every journey changes us when we pay attention to what it teaches. An ending can therefore be more than a conclusion. It can be the beginning of a more thoughtful and purposeful life. The journey through the lost world has taken us from a dream of adventure to a return home. We have seen how curiosity begins a journey, how knowledge carries responsibility, and how courage becomes meaningful when it is joined with teamwork and loyalty. The explorers faced the unknown, adapted to danger, made plans, supported one another, and returned with a deeper understanding of themselves. These lessons remain relevant beyond the story. When a challenge appears, prepare carefully. When the path is unfamiliar, remain curious. When others need help, act with courage and compassion. Thank you for learning with Brainyahia. Keep learning, keep growing, and remember that every meaningful journey can begin with one brave step. The adventure has ended, but its meaning continues. Every journey changes us when we pay attention to what it teaches. An ending can therefore be more than a conclusion. It can be the beginning of a more thoughtful and purposeful life. The journey through the lost world has taken us from a dream of adventure to a return home. We have seen how curiosity begins a journey, how knowledge carries responsibility, and how courage becomes meaningful when it is joined with teamwork and loyalty. The explorers faced the unknown, adapted to danger, made plans, supported one another, and returned with a deeper understanding of themselves. These lessons remain relevant beyond the story. When a challenge appears, prepare carefully. When the path is unfamiliar, remain curious. When others need help, act with courage and compassion. Thank you for learning with